Now, despite the modern attractions of the small and the beautiful, and the current pressures for conservation of energy, it's only a few years since gas guzzlers were king here in the States. Size and power of engine were everything, real status symbols, in fact. And although now we see them as automotive dinosaurs, many people here lament their passing. So, like classic cars in the UK, they've become major collector's items. Becky Adam has been looking into it.
Alice Cooper, Surf City and muscle cars, our image of the stateside 60s. Those were the days when car manufacturers, in the pursuit of speed, shoehorned truck engines into the American compact, inventing muscle cars. They coined phrases like, "It don't handle, but it sure as hell goes."
Muscle car phenomenon started in 1964. As a direct result of a man named John DeLorean, who I'm sure everyone is familiar with, and another gentleman named Jim Wangers, who was a public relations representative for the advertising agency at Pontiac. Between the two of them, they decided to put a big engine into an intermediate-size American car. The result of that is the American muscle car. High performance, low weight. They didn't handle very well. They were strictly straight-line machines designed for drag racing. But that was the very beginnings of the muscle car movement. This car here is a 1965 GTO, 389 cubic inch engine, 335 horsepower. That comes out to 6.5 liters. The car is extremely responsive, has 3 two-barrel carburetors. It was one of the fastest mid-60s muscle cars. Most people did not use these cars as grocery getters. They were not the family car that you threw the kids in and went to grandma's house. They were a Sunday afternoon, take it out, and street race with your buddies' cars.
Pontiac aimed their over-engined muscle car squarely at the macho American male, and Ford, to catch their rivals, went to Carroll Shelby of Cobra fame. His speed shot beefed up the horsepower and turned the rather mundane Mustang into a tyre-smoking street racer. 20 years on, the coveted Shelby convertible is now worth around $70,000. Ford did eventually produce their own cars, but only with the help of Carcraft, their racing subsidiary. With chassis mods and acceptance that there's no substitute for cubic capacity, they created a Mustang called Boss.
The Boss 429 Mustang is the best of the muscle cars. It was made in 1969. It was one of 859 made. The purpose for this was, at that time, Ford was interested in promoting performance. And to do so, they thought it would be a good idea to develop this big Hemi engine to run in their NASCAR racers. They were never used for racing on the tracks. The engine was, and was quite successful. It won 25 Grand National races in 1969, but only in the larger Torino chassis.
Ford's success in competition spurred other manufacturers into action. The relentless search for even more power gained momentum.
This car is a 1970 Chevelle SS. It's powered by a 4-barrel version of the 396. It's rated at 350 horsepower. It's got an automatic transmission, SS rally wheels, the cowl induction hood. It's got a bucket seat interior with a bucket seats and floor shift. I prefer to drive this over modern cars. It's quite a bit more fun.
But in 1971, the fun was over. Legislation by the Environment Protection Agency and limitations set by insurance companies brought the muscle car era to an end. Now only the foot-to-the-floor fraternity keep the legend alive.
This is it. This is Buick's ultimate bad boy muscle car. It was one of the 10 fastest muscle cars ever tested. Right now it's all mine. I use it for fun. It was a limited production car. They only made 280 of them. There's probably less than a third of those surviving. The ones that are around have been restored, and the people that own them drive them, and we all race them.